Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I've got a roll of pennies I got off of eBay that I am going to break into here. You can see that we've got a flying eagle cent and Indian cent on the back. So the reason I got this was for that eagle cent. I paid a decent price for it and I think I recouped my losses. Probably, I don't think I broke even. I made a little bit. I mean, if you just consider the value of all the other coins in there, even though I don't think I found a whole lot. But this is a pretty decent one. I think it's, again, not, I'm really not the best at grading things that I'm not familiar with, but just comparing it to pictures on PCGS, I'm going to say is somewhere between a 35 and a 40, which, if I remember right, was about a $200 coin. Some of their pictures, my back isn't as nice as theirs, but the eagle on the front is nicer, not as much wear. So basically, I'm just blowing through these coins here. If you're really interested in what I've got, you can slow the video down. You can see I sped it up a bit, but basically I separate anything under 1940. I put in a different category, and then of course the cents, or the Indian head cents and the wheat cents, I separate. And here we have a very ugly Indian cent. I'm always kind of intrigued by these really dirty ones. I just kind of want to take a closer look and see if I can figure out what they are, but I'll take a look at it later. So just stick with me here while I blow through some of these, because at the end I've got something interesting I discovered. So here I pulled out one that I had not seen before. Caught my eye, just the color was a bit different. The thickness was a lot different. You could feel the weight of it. I mean, that thing just, when, if you know what it is, I mean, it's only 1.5 grams heavier than a normal one, but I could literally feel it in my hands, the difference. And you can see the comparison on the width here. But I've never found one of that age before, and so when I started doing some research, I realized it's a copper cent. The newer ones are brass, so this was mostly copper. And yeah, it's a 4.7 grams versus 3.1 or 3.11, something like that for the brass ones. All right, guys, I know it's kind of boring to just watch it with no sound, but just bear with me here. Just blowing through these, and like I said, if there's anything you see that you find interesting, you can slow it down or pause it. Just stick with me till the end, because I promise it's interesting. So here's what I've got after all that. The only stuff that was what I find to be interesting, obviously the Flying Eagle cent. That's the best of the best. That's right there. I think that's about a $200 coin. Got my Indian head here, the copper one. Very interested in that. I don't think it's worth a whole lot, but it's just interesting. I've never seen one before. All right, guys, so I wanted to hop back in here real quick and show you a couple of these coins. So I was unfamiliar with this, and excuse me, I've got a cold today. I was unfamiliar with these. Apparently, shoot, I can't remember the exact dates, but 1860, I believe, to 1865. These were made out of a different metal, so that's why it's so much thicker and heavier. You'll see here, let me see, get out my scale. I think the weight is supposed to be 4.7, but it's old and worn, so that is probably accurate. And I don't know how consistent they were with their dates back then, or with their weights, I should say. Okay, so at any rate, this is the journey I went on. I have never seen one this old before, this date, this material. So when I picked it up, I could feel the difference, and then just the thickness of it too. So yeah, that's why I looked at it so long before. However, one of the other coins I grabbed was this, and you can't, I'm sure you guys probably can't. I can barely see it here. Okay, so this is an 1860 something. And basically I went through all these coins and I wanted to see if there's anything special I could find out about them. And then, so I set this one aside, and then as I picked it up, I could feel the weight difference again. So this one is extremely, corroded. A lot of metal missing from his forehead and face there, behind the feathers. Just, yeah, very corroded, worn out coin. So I weighed it, and it's 3.78, which is not 4.7, obviously, but because of the corrosion, because this is heavier than a normal Indian head. I believe the normal ones are 3.11 grams. So that got me thinking, what the heck is going on? Something else I noticed was the date 186 is smaller than even than this one. You can see the difference in the size of the lettering. So I thought, well, is it a variety or something? You see that 8 there is much bigger than the other 8. So I got to looking and digging, trying to figure out what the heck this thing was. And maybe you'll laugh at me for this. I believe that this is an 1860 proof. If you look at the PCGS website and you go on there and just look through their coins, you'll see that the only one that has some smaller date on it is that 1860 proof. And yeah, so the story behind those is that only 1,000 of them were made, and of those 1,000, most of them were not sold, so the mint melted most of them back down, leaving what they believe is only a few hundred left out there, and I think this is one of them. I'm not excited because I don't think it's a lot of value in this coin. What I'm excited about is just holding something that's that rare, having found one, by chance, having the people who put them in the rolls pass it by just because it was ugly. But yeah, I really don't know if it's worth anything. I doubt it. I think the good ones on there are a few $1,000s, and this is not even gonna get a grade. If I send it in, it'd come back as details and damage, I'm sure. But I think what I'm gonna do, I think I am gonna send it in. I have a membership to PCGS, and you get 8 free submissions every year, so I might send it in with that so I don't lose money on it. Or if I get impatient, I may just send it in and pay to get it graded. Not so much for the grade, but just to get a designation for it. There is a chance that they would just send it back to me too, but they don't charge you if they do that. So, but I believe this is a 1860 Indian head proof that I found in a roll of coins randomly bought on eBay. I think that's pretty cool. So if you think it's cool, like this video, please subscribe. I've been getting pretty lucky with things, I think. I guess we won't really know until a lot of the stuff comes back from submissions. But if you like my content, please subscribe. I've been trying to put a lot of it out there. So thanks, guys. See you on the next one.